And good morning. Welcome to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. It is the Wednesday after Labor Day, September 4th. Appreciate you joining us today. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. If you're watching us on Facebook live, thank you for that. If you're listening to us or watching this later via www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast, which is a free area of our website, we appreciate that as well. Again, thank you for joining us. The news is on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We're also online. It's $5 a month. You can check us out, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We also have an app. And as mentioned, we're disseminating all of the information we possibly can across all those social media platforms. We are also in print on Thursday and Saturday. That is $10 a month or $99 a year. Please don't forget, our football edition came out last week. We actually have a ton of extra copies here at the office. And we would, if you're interested in one, please let us know. We'll also be out at some of the games this Friday, handing them out. They will be free. Let's check the traffic and weather for the morning. Rough morning this morning. Lots of mornings. Morning. I hope somebody leaves me a good morning in those comments. Highway 64 heading into Central. Heavy delays that way. Clearing up around Live Oak, going both north and southbound as that school traffic tends to dissipate around this time. Heavy delays on Hatchell and Highway 16 in Denham Springs from the high school and the Combo Elementary School out and junior high right outside this office. Heavy delays at Jubin and 190 as people try to sift out of Walker for the day. Some interesting delays on 447, especially around 1025. A lot of people trying to get down there and get on the interstate. Unfortunately, once you get on the interstate heading westbound, heavy delays backed up past Jubin today. That only clears up right around Sherwood. Minor delays after the 10-12 split. It is currently 74 degrees, 0% chance of rain. It is going to be a beautiful week, but it is going to be hot. High of 96 today will probably feel like 101, and it will stay that way through Tuesday of next week, so be prepared for the heat. Getting into the news today, interesting story coming out of yesterday. Parish President Leighton Ricks informed Parish Council members that he will be sending the Premier Concrete issue back through planning. If you're not entirely sure what that is, back in, really right about a year ago now, Premier Concrete applied for a residential permit for a dorm. It was not for a dorm. It was on a, let me start over. They applied for a residential permit on what was a family partition. From there, they ended up building, it was also applied for, it was a 9,800 square foot roughly building. What ended up being built was about a 1,300 square foot building, which was discovered by neighbors in the January-February area. In March, Parish Councilman Gary Frog Talbert approached the parish administration, which included Parish President Leighton Ricks, Permit Director Dee Delat, and Department of Public Works Director Sam DiGirolamo, and said, what are we going to do about this? And that group went out, they inspected the property, told Premier Concrete this is a commercial building, and began to work trying to get them compliant on that side, which would be going through the normal commercial permitting process. According to Talbert, he asked the parish administration, would they be going through the normal channels, which in his mind included some things that they did not do, which was signage, going to permitting, and then eventually appearing before the council, trying to give the people of Watson, according to Talbert, his, I guess you can say, or their voice. And he felt like Live Oak or citizens of Watson had lost their voice in this issue. So after some interesting debate over the summer, a controversial 5-4 vote sent a resolution letter to Parish President Leighton Ricks asking him, or really it was demanding, was the language used, he send them being Premier Concrete back through the whole process, which included planning. Again, yesterday, Parish President Leighton Ricks announced he would do exactly that. So at October's planning meeting will be the first chance that Watson citizens get to visit a planning meeting, if you've never been before, and to see Premier Concrete make their discussions and debates. Leighton Ricks said that he did this because he felt like Premier Concrete was trying to get compliant, and he felt like that needed to be publicly stated and showed. So we will see what Premier Concrete has to show in October. So that's the latest on that. Big summer. Just a big summer in the real estate market. Absolutely crazy. Homes surpassed the $200,000 average home price mark for the summer. That's April through August. Included August, even though we're really running up against school. Ton of closings in August. There were 191 homes sold August of this year. 1,007 from April to August sold. That's a total of 201 million in inventory. So a lot of real estate transactions going on this summer. Big growth in that market here in Livingston Parish, and you can read all about if you like all the crazy little numbers, median home price and all that. There's a story up www.livingstonparishnews.com/news. Sick leave injury for Denham is being considered for firefighters. They introduced a new ordinance that would reflect some state law after an attorney general's opinion sort of shifted how municipalities of a certain size handle sick leave for firefighters. In the beginning, Denham had an AG's opinion under Mayor DeLawn that said that if under 13,000 citizens, you did not have to worry about this particular revised statute or law. Now there's a new AG's opinion that you do. So they went through, discussed it with the state, decided to go ahead and take a look at all of these provisions through revised statute. I know it is 1995, that discuss sick leave. The biggest change will be it used to be that firefighters, just like any other municipal employee, accrued sick leave as a certain amount of hours per pay period, anywhere from 3.5 to 7.4, depending on how many years you've been with the city of Denham Springs. What will change is that firefighters are automatically given 52 weeks of sick or injury leave as long as that sickness or injury was not due to personal negligence. So it will be interesting to see how that is affected going forward. It does say within the law that if you were sick for 52 weeks and a day, you can get fired on that one day if you have not provided enough supporting documents to say why you should still be on sick or injury leave. So that'll be coming up at this next Denham Council meeting here in a week. The Southeastern game with Bethune-Cookman, which football game, was canceled due to Hurricane Dorian. Still waiting to see exactly how that will affect the Florida East Coast. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. We had volleyball last night. Volleyball you can't call it kicked off, tipped off, served off. There it is. Volleyball served off last night. 2 games were covered. Springfield toppled Denham Springs in a 3-1 match. Springfield always seems to have a pretty good volleyball team going over there. Very concerted effort. Match 2 was dynamite. Springfield eventually pulled away, but a lot of back and forth there. And Live Oak's opening night was spoiled by Bruley. Mr. Adam Henderson covered that. You can check those stories out. www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. It's online. Coming up here, actually a week from today, is the annual Cry Out America event that celebrates the anniversary of 9/11, or September 11th, 2001. It's from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It is open to the public. It is at the Parish Council Chambers in Livingston. That is the town of Livingston. Going through sort of the stories of what happened that day, trying to, celebrate America and what we're all about here. So again, that's from 12 to 1 p.m. at the Parish Council Chambers in Livingston. Now, I am in a jacket and not a suit, but I'm a little dressed up because today will be the day that Livingston Parish celebrates Child Hunger Awareness Day. It is it's an important day. mostly because what a lot of people don't know is that there are a lot of families here, not even that live in poverty, but live in what is called asset limited and income constrained. What that represents is that they are just able to pay their bills, and that's it. And it's nearly 30%, according to the United Way here in Livingston Parish. One of the reasons a lot of this came up, it is through Mighty Moms, the organization, is because they were surprised by how many children really were hungry. And with a partnership with the library, they found out even more kids were actually hungry. So last year was the first year that Parish President Leighton Ricks declared, last year it was September 5th, this year it's September 4th, as Childhood Hunger Awareness Day. Myself and a large group of individuals from across the parish, including probably Parish President Leighton Ricks, who we talked about earlier, and many other public officials, will be reading the kids today. We will be reading Maddie's Fridge. I'm pretty excited about it. Kids tend to be kind of excited. I tell my staff, "Hey, good morning," and they're like, "Good morning." You tell kids, you're like, "Hey, good morning," they're like, "Good morning." So it should be interesting. I'll be at Eastside Elementary. Mr. David Gray and Mr. Morgan Pruitt will be running around today trying to capture pictures of these folks reading to these kids. So please keep an eye out on our social media, as well as www.livingstonparishnews.com. We will be posting all sorts of photos throughout the day, as well as maybe some video. We will have a story coming up later. A reminder, again, for those of you from Watson that were interested, Premier Concrete and that whole issue will be going back through the planning process. So please keep an eye on that. We will be revisiting that as we get closer. It will be October before they make it into or onto the Planning Commission's agenda. So we will be checking that out come October. One more time around the bend with traffic. It seems to be, as usual, about 15-20 minutes of this show, clearing up a little bit. 16 is relatively clear in Watson. Still minor delays on 64 heading into Central. Heavy delays on River Road, 190 and 4-H Club Road as they come together there in Western Denham Springs. Delays on Jubin Road as folks try to get on Jubin. Those delays on 447 north of Walker, not as bad now. However, traffic still backed up on I-12 westbound past Jubin Road, as well as minor delays past the 10-12 split. Your weather one more time, currently 74 degrees. 96 degrees is your high today. Probably feels like 101. Going to be a lot like that for over a week, as we're going to have nice, bright, sunshiny days, but they are going to be hot. Again, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. I will be at Eastside Elementary reading for Childhood Hunger Awareness Day at 9:15 today, excuse me, as well as a large group of people across the parish. We appreciate you joining us today. If you watch us live, if you're listening or watching later, we appreciate that too. The news is on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We're also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have an app as well, and we are twice a week in print. Once on Thursday and once on Saturday. Again, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great hump day.